Okay, now let's see some tips to learn the rhythms, to study the rhythms. Let's see this rhythm, which is the tumbao, but with two congas, is... So this rhythm have these sounds: rock, rock, slap, rock, 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 high, high, rock, rock, slap, two, two, rock, high, high. Okay, so the first tip is study the rhythm, study it very slow and only one time. Okay, let's see an example is rock, rock, slap, rock, 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 high, high, rock, rock, slap, two, two, rock, high, high. Okay, this is the rhythm only one time. Then when you know how to do it very slow and only one time, try to do it very slow but in cycles without a stop. Okay? Let's see an example. How to do it is... Again. Okay, and again, and so on. Okay, but first of all, learn it only one time very slow. Then in cycles very slow, and then when you know how to do it very slow in cycles, try to do more fast. More fast only one time, then you try more fast in cycles. Again. And so on, okay? And then with more velocity. Only one time, and then in cycles. Okay, this is the first tip, and the first trick is study slow one time and then in cycles and then give it velocity. Okay, this is very important. Then we have another trick and another tip, which is cut the rhythm in parts. When you have problems to learn a rhythm because it's very difficult, you can try to cut it in parts. Okay, so for example, this same rhythm that we have played now, if you have problems and you can learn it, first of all, split it in parts. You can split in two parts the rhythm. The first part is... and the second part is... Okay, so learn separately each part, first of all with the same method that I have told you, very slow at the beginning, the first part on one time, then the second part very slow one time, and then the first part one time in cycles, more velocity. Okay, and then the same with the second part. Only one time very slow. Then very slow in cycles. And then very slow, and then in cycles more fast. Okay? Then when you know how to do the first part and the second, try to do it together, all the rhythm. If you have problems, you can try to cut it in more little parts. For example, you divide the rhythm in 4 parts. The first part is, okay, so practice the first part, then in cycles, and then with more velocity, and then the second part, which is then in cycles, and then with more velocity, then the part number 3, which is, okay, only one time, then in cycles, then with more velocity, and then the last part, the part number 4, which is the part number 4, which is, okay, only one time, then in cycles, and then with more velocity. Okay, so if you have problems with the rhythm, try to first of all study it slow and only one time. If you have problems, try to cut the rhythm into parts, and if it's very difficult in 2 parts, cut it in 4 parts. If you have problem with 4 parts, cut it more little, okay? You cut, and then put together again, okay? So the first tip, study it slow and in cycles, and only one time, and then in cycles. The second tip, split the rhythm in parts if you have problems. And the last tip is that if you have problems learning a rhythm and you try and can learn it, pass to the other rhythm, okay, and then come back, okay, because maybe with something that you learn with the next rhythm help you to the last, okay? So don't frustrate. If you have a lot of problems with the rhythm, pass to the next, and then the next, and come back, okay? So I hope you enjoy.